All right, we're live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We've been gone
Hello.
for a wee bit, it, you know, work and other life stuff, but now we're back to the streets where we began. All right. So when we last left off, you guys fought a strange entity and a puppet, and almost died. Well, Lobet almost died for the who knows how many times. Acquired a ring and some money. A couple of people had some dreams, and that's pretty much it. It You guys went around talking to people. People. The only thing you guys have left to do in this caravanserai is go back and talk with Aquarius and his benefactors.
Oh, right. We do have the map. Um, is anybody in the group good at making forgeries?
Board? Well,
Or copies?
pulls out my cartographer's tools. I can
Could you
make
make a
maps.
could you make a copy of this map just in case we don't get to keep it?
I don't think it's that kind of map.
Well,
You do
Just in
know that
case we don't keep it.
it's the map is in like the form of a book, and like there's the only way to interpret the map is with the other book.
Which they have.
They have
Yes.
the book. I mean, we've looked at the book. Anybody have good memory?
okay. Well, was I there when they saw the book?
Um, they were looking through it as you went outside, so you
Eh,
probably weren't there.
Well, the first book.
Well, the first book, I think everyone was in the room for that, so you would have seen it, but they didn't like open it and flip through it. They just showed you that they had the book.
Okay.
Why can I not hear?
No, they've just gone quiet.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, we just kind of went quiet after that, so I wouldn't be able to interpret. So okay, fine by me. So I can't, and it would probably take forever to make a copy of this book.
Yeah, it will take up to 5 days to make a copy of the book this long.
Yeah. So sorry, no, no, I can't.
ah, that would that would have saved us some time. Um, But oh well.
I
Well, we're
mean,
trying
even if it
to
did take 5 days, you could still make a copy just in 5 days' time. You don't need it right now.
Do you want to
Well,
sit
we should.
here for another 5 days?
I mean, do you, we can't we do that? I don't I don't think that you guys get what I'm saying.
Like,
Mm.
Well,
make a
currently we're
copy
trying
of it
not.
as you guys are traveling.
Yeah, like it takes us forever to get places anyway. So what's wrong with
You,
having a copy?
Well, we were
well,
supposed to turn it into them at the place here
yeah.
before we left.
well, we're supposed to travel with them to the tomb.
Or it
Okay.
was
Oh,
either they would
I
travel
mean, is
with.
it a special map? Are they gonna look at it and like examine it, or because you could just like
We could try and
scribble
use it.
a very roughly similar thing on paper, just hand it in. If they don't look at it too closely, they won't know.
Well, the thing is, we basically have 2 encrypted books that will come together and form a map. And to
Oh,
copy
okay.
this, and so to copy this book that we have would take me 5 days straight.
Or
And
5
we would,
reasonable days of time.
yeah,
Time
and then we would,
investment.
and even if I did that, we'd still need the other book or a copy of it.
Yep.
So it really isn't worth it.
Mm.
Well, we can ask about that on the trail.
Oh, one thing we can is while we're
Anyways,
traveling.
now if you'll excuse me as I flare up my magic and begin identifying this ring that I nearly died for.
Uh,
What were
what?
you saying, Nick? You were coming through really muffled.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. One thing we could do is if we could travel with them and then steal the book, steal the other book for ourselves and just leave them behind. Hello.
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah, we
That
heard
is
you.
true. The only problem is it would cut us off from their vault and make us the enemy of a red dragon.
True. I do want to get my hands on that sword as well.
Yes, and the difference between a god and a dragon is a lot more actionable in its disdain than a god.
I beg to differ sometimes.
Depends on the dragon, but you're more likely to deal with a dragon than a god.
I just don't feel like we should be giving it to them, but so I don't think I want to even be involved
Is
in
there a
that.
reason we need to keep it other than it's a map?
It's what the map and the book entails. Like,
The 2 things
and
point to a tomb with a primal.
they're combining all 3 of those things, and we're basically just delivering that to them, and then they're deciding on what they want to do with it, which they're saying they want to put inside of a museum, but
Ugh, lame.
I just I just feel like
Well,
it
the
shouldn't be on
alternative
them
the
to determine.
alternative is. Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
The alternative, though, is us combating them, um, either now or in the future, and then we would still have to obtain their half and decipher it, and then we would still have to brave the same battlefields that we were going to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We're those exact last words. We're still gonna have to brave the battle because,
The difference is,
as I mentioned before, they're taking something and trying to put it in this, I guess, really secure place. But if these items were separate to begin with, then that's also security, or it being destroyed.
but if we're going to be involved in this in the first place, I'd
You
rather.
guys decided, that's what I'm saying. You guys decided to be involved on your own. I'm just here to support in spite of me disagreeing with this entire time.
Either
Like,
way,
we
I
just
would.
went through
It's
that big battle with that guy in this place. You just got possessed, and as I said from the jump, I don't think that we should be doing this because one, it's distracting us from what we were initially doing, and then two, why are we giving them so much power to decide if they should do with someone else's power? Like, we're holding the cards right now. They need us. And you guys, I know you guys bargained for whatever you decided the bargain should be, but no amount of money should determine, or whatever they're giving you, abilities, gifts, whatever, should determine someone else's, I don't know. That's like handing over a car to I don't know, a 14-year-old and saying, "Hey, just go to this place, drive through this, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I'm explaining it. Does that make Keontae, can you explain what I'm trying to say?
Well, I
Essentially,
think I
be
get.
putting too much trust in people that you don't know what their ultimate end goal is.
I mean,
Even though
people can just
they
talk.
even though they say they want to do X, Y, and Z, you- it could be you know, it could
It's
be
dumb. It's irresponsible to give them all of this stuff, basically bring all three of these pieces together, and then let's say that they have a trader within their own organization, or they're not as secure as they say that they are, and then someone now has the ability to steal all three of these things at one time because all three of them will be together now versus them all being separate into three separate individual places. That's like
Well, if we.
all of the Dragon Balls coming together at one place, and then someone's like, look, there's a bag of Dragon Balls.
The thing is, one of these paths puts us in the same room to influence this, and the other has us just allow this to happen outside of our influence.
You guys made the decision, though, to do this.
They
That's what I'm
already
saying.
knew. They already knew about us.
So, you guys agreed to do this. As in, you took that into consideration, or you heard, I know I said this before, but you guys made this decision anyway when you just took a whole nother route. And I was like, I believe I said that you can get not just money. It was something else I was saying that you guys can get, but you guys bargained something completely different, which is probably just money. But you guys still decided it. You still made the decision. We still went through with it. So now you're faced with another decision. Do you hold on to this stuff or and make an enemy of these people that technically we wouldn't have been enemies with if we just chose not to do it, or give them this ability and then risk that teeter-totter effect of them betraying us or them being caught in the crosshairs, and we're still going to be caught in the crosshairs either way it goes.
essentially you guys um if you guys go with Azar's there's what Azar promised you guys, which was is essentially an equivalent and magic item to the primal from the vault that you guys will get essentially. And you guys were thinking about that cult leader's sword.
I think there was something about one of
Dreamer's Edge,
their
I think.
past.
What? I didn't hear. I didn't hear what. Well, Nick, you go first. What did you say?
Oh, I was just commenting. I think it was called like Dreamer's Edge or something.
Yeah.
It was something with dreams.
And then what did you say, Steven?
I said, wasn't there an item tied to either Nobody or Mana's past in there as well
Um,
in the agreement?
Wasn't that the sword?
I think that was a sword.
the sword is tied to who a group that nobody was a part of. If- So
And then that was what you guys were saying to me was, wouldn't I want to assist nobody in connecting their past, which is why I'm here, because you guys are assisting me with the things that I want to do, but it doesn't mean that I agree with this.
um,
I don't agree
Well,
with you guys
the
Dea,
bringing.
can Dea speak up real quick? She's
go
gonna
ahead.
still raise her hand. Um, I know I'm basically just your guys' chauffeur at this point, but that how much do you trust this Azar person?
Not at all.
So well, why not go with the option where you guys travel separately and you bring the items together on location, and then you have time to find some rumors about this Azar person and look into who them. Like, what was their title again? The Keeper of something.
So my problem with that is if we travel separately from them, then we only have rumors to go based off of. If we travel with them, we can see firsthand their capabilities, and if we necessary, prepare countermeasures.
No, people act
Wait,
different
okay,
when
I'm a bit confused. I thought y'all said we were giving up the books before we left town.
Well, yeah, but Dea is basically saying, why give up the book when you guys were told an option where you can travel and meet them there. Here.
Because there is one problem that comes into play with that is we won't know where there is if we split up and bring them together
Well,
there. So there's
well,
nothing
Laqueus
planning
to.
on
was
going to the tomb anyway,
Laqueus
right?
was yeah Laqueus was one to tell you the general location. And you guys would essentially meet up in the city after traveling separately. And, you guys said you were going to take a day to think about it, but you guys went ahead and got the thing.
Yeah.
So now now that time that you were going to use to think about what you were going to bring to the table when it came to deciding on which route were going to take. Well, now you have the now you have the map, and that changes the situation because remember the Zarwitz wanted to send one of his guys with you guys to retrieve the stuff, but you guys didn't go for that apparently. You
We
guys
didn't need them.
You guys are gonna get your choice out of Draconis, Jocasta, or Moran, then, but you didn't go with any of those options. Actually, do I have a
Maybe
thing?
they'll throw in a bonus for us for doing it ourselves. We get hazard pay out of this.
So, Jerry, can you come here for a minute?
Okay.
But I do
Moran
kind of
was
agree with Kiari. Traveling with them would probably be the better idea if we wanted to get an idea of what kind of person they are, instead of just going and collecting rumors.
Also, if we need to, I could sew in some doubt in their ranks. Maybe even get a few allies.
no, Moran's the one that was wearing all the armor, and you guys couldn't really tell what they look like. Okay. Um, Draconis was the guy that had the bandages and was carrying the axe, the staff with the axe blade with the blade on the end, and then Jocasta was the spellcaster lady.
Did they all see us?
Um, yeah, you guys saw all three of them. It's just one of them was wearing armor to the point where you couldn't tell what they looked like, but they were very tall. Um, then the other two are very out in the open, and you can see what they look like.
So, what do I get out of this ring?
From Alright, the ring itself oh, is not magical.
Hmm.
The um, you are able to identify it as gold crown signet ring.
Ew.
Look,
So
guys, we can start forging gold crown signatures
Okay.
after a
now.
minute,
And the design. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I'm back. I was getting clarification from Kiara because I wasn't understanding the situation.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I just was getting confused. I just needed some clarification. My personal thought is I get not trusting the people, but that street's going two ways. If they could do this on their own, they wouldn't be asking for help, which means also we need to take our own precautions and thinking about trying to do it on our own. If we attempt to be like, you guys fuck off, let's go do it on our own, they're going to look at us like, they're going to try to betray us. You know, vice versa. So I say we just go with them, all of us, be prepared mentally, keep an eye on them. If they try to do some shady shit, then we can, fire back at them. Again, obviously they can't do this on their own. They need us.
okay.
That's what I think.
Point.
And then what I was gonna say was so after a minute the spell fades as I look at the ring. So, and I look at Mana. So hey Mana. Oh wait, he's got to wait to get back to his chair.
You will recognize the emblem on the top of the ring as the same one at the bottom of most of the contract pages that you guys have encountered recently.
Yari, make sure to unmute if you're still muted.
You should be able to hear me, can't you?
Yes.
I can hear you now. Okay. So hey Mana.
Yes.
You might like this as I flip the ring over to you. Gold crown
Is this
signet
more
ring.
of a? What can I do with this?
You can forge documents.
The most important use of it would be for wax sealing documents.
Oh,
It's not the
this is
same.
gonna be fun.
It's not the
Oh, you
same
could
as like
literally.
So it's different from the stamp that's used for the contract pages, but for like official documentation, if you can get a piece of like something that's written in from Gold Crown in his penmanship, you could recreate his penmanship and use this signet ring to like impose it as him. But it also carries his authority. So in circles where his authority is is powerful, then that signet ring could be used to say, "Hey, Gold Crown sent me."
And that also means that people who have that ring and recognize it are targets.
Yep, have fun with that. It has no magic to it whatsoever.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun, aren't we,
Indeed. So I'll pocket the ring for now.
All right. I'll throw this into the Noxian wagon. I just have an item card for it.
Okay. Um, that's about it. And you guys, it's morning, and you guys has have eaten. Are you guys gonna go meet with Azara and Laqueus?
We'll put it. Let's put it to a vote to simplify
Actually,
this.
real quick.
It'd be
Oh,
nice if you'd be able to kidnap one of them and then just eat them and then infiltrate their whole organization.
okay. No,
You're
that's
so right. Let's go. No, kidding.
I
Well,
couldn't.
well, actually, half kidding.
and blue. Okay, so now it's in the cargo and crew. If you want to grab it.
So, I guess all in favor of meeting them today.
Oh,
I say aye. I guess
are we?
aye.
Wait, do we have to meet them today? Out
You
of ten?
guys, you
No,
guys
we
told them
didn't
that you
have
would
to
meet
meet
them
them.
today, but you don't. There's nothing physically or magically holding you to that.
Oh, okay. Well, dang. I was about to say because
Basically,
I would. No,
oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. I think you go ahead.
Um, because I would like to do the. It's something I need to discuss out of game. It's okay.
Okay. Eh, My thinking was we put it to a vote. Either we go meet with them today, or we seek an alternative path. Because if we're going to meet up with them and travel alongside them or anything that's continuing to work with them, we might as well go and meet them today. Because currently there's nothing we can do, such as replicating the book, that we could do in the time span that we have before they start wondering where we are. But if we're going to seek an alternative, if if path, eh, then we just need to be clear there what the group's overall intent is from here. That sound fair to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So all in favor of meeting them today? Aye.
I
I
think majority of people agree.
I, to be honest, I would have agreed either way. Either way, it would have ended in chaos.
Alright.
I think the eyes have it.
And so, you guys, Maze, are you bringing the book with you to meet them, or are you leaving it in the wagon?
I put it in the storage.
Alright.
How about this? Um, you weren't able to. You couldn't make a copy of the whole thing, but could you just redraw the cover?
can I?
If you have a calligraphy kit or an artist kit,
I have a cartographer kit.
I
um,
can provide him a calligraphy kit.
Okay.
alright, if you're not trained in it, it's just a flat kit tool roll.
I am not
Hmm.
proficient.
Alright.
So we're not giving you the book.
You can
Is
roll.
what you're trying
You
to.
can roll your cartography kit if you're proficient in it at a higher DC.
I am proficient in my cartographer kit. Did I? Oh yeah, it's set to my intelligence. So, you want me to try to make with my cartography kit, or do you want me to try and make it with the calligraphy kit that I'm not proficient in?
That's up to you.
I was actually asking Kiari.
Okay.
Do what you feel most comfortable with. It's your role.
Um, I have. Do I have any inspo? Let's see.
You should.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
long rested, and you should be able
yeah,
to short rest between now and then.
yeah. I've got it. I've had a short rest. So yeah. I'll inspiration, and I will do my own cartography kit.
Okay.
So roll that. So that'll be a 3 on top of my cartography kit. No. Oh, nope.
All right.
That's a
So you get a pretty decent sketch, and then you knock over your ink as you're on to the vellum as you're drawing.
Well, that option's out of the bag.
What type of
Actually, wait. It's the cover. Oh, sorry.
what type of not attributes, what's it called? Is it what's being used? AC or well, it's not a strength check.
it's a skill check, and I'm using my intelligence.
Essentially, whatever. If you outside of using a kit, like a toolkit that you are proficient with, it's just a charisma um, check, skill check.
Okay, I see.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-oh. Why is Steam opening up?
Is the cover in?
Hmm?
Is the cover embossed, like sticking out,
Yeah, it's embellished in a lot
or is
of
it a
different.
flat cover?
It has a lot of metal bits and embellishments on it. You can tell that it's the
Okay, I'll
same design as the other book that you were showing.
just take some charcoal from the fireplace and do a charcoal rub.
Okay. That takes no skill to do, so you get a piece of parchment with a charcoal rubbing of the cover of the book.
Okay. Hey, we'll leave the actual copy here with Daya. Uh, we'll go talk to them. We have verification that we have the book. Uh, and
Um,
once we've agreed on a path forward, uh, 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 we can either provide them the original or have them come by to do the, or we can meet up there and do the combination.
Okay.
Alright. So you guys go back to that really nice inn. And you do find Laqueus waiting in the lobby. He seems pretty nervous when, like, just sitting there. It's like,
Hello?
we do. Hmm?
did you not hear me?
No, you're dying.
Sound like you cut out.
Yeah,
Oh,
you cut up couple times.
alright. You guys go back to that same inn then, where you will see Laqueus is nervously he sitting in the lobby. His little halfling leg just is jumping up and down as he's like slightly chewing on his pen, like just
Someone would.
looking at the like shadows going across the floor, just like it's late in the morning and he doesn't know when you guys are gonna get there.
Ooh.
Oh,
Do I want to do detect thought?
do your thing.
Do it.
Alright, one sec. I need to make sure to see if I can use my points to subtle cast it.
Well, if you want, you could cast it before we come in here.
Yeah.
Detect
And
thought doesn't target unless you laser in on somebody.
Oh,
while you
okay.
do that, I'm gonna need to take out the trash real quick. So I'll be right back while y'all deal with that. If inspo is needed, I have 2 left. So if it becomes required, burn them, and I'll take care of it.
Can't reach it. Dang it! Hold on. Hello. Why is Oh my god! Why?
What are you struggling with, Nick?
I'm on mobile because my computer's being weird, and because I have the token movement thing on the same. Hold on. I'm gotta I'm relogging in.
Refresh. You can just ask Kante to roll it for you, or put it on the tracker.
It's okay. I got it. Nobody. So there we go. Boop, boop. Yeah. People.
All right. Sorry, I had to look at my notes. I had to refigure out what this guy sounds like. All right. When are they going to get here? They said they would be here in the morning. I know it's not noon yet, but it's still late in the morning. You would think it wouldn't take that long for them to talk amongst themselves and decide on a course of action. I hope they haven't left town. Um, this will be my last mess up. If I mess up this time, I don't know. Oh, what Sir Azar will do. You get like flashes this of like different things that are really hard to comprehend in the quick thoughts that he has. Is you'd have to dig a little deeper to get truly what those flashes are, though. As
Anyways,
he
do I risk it?
as he's continuing to just sit there. Here.
Ah, that's a tough one. Because if you fail, he'll be on guard the whole time. But if you succeed, we'll get some juicy information.
Could wait and do.
Now, personally, I believe in you, and I believe that you'll make the right choice no matter what. Plus, if things go wrong, we could just kill him.
Hmm. Uh, hmm. Nobody won. Nobody's losing. So I believe they make a will. Either I or they have to make a will.
Mm, it's a will save.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't list him save. All right. To Laqua's stats. All right. Decent wisdom, not the best, but still decent.
This is points.
Oh, I have to have something clicked. All right. Who has a similar their wisdom stat? Oh, Benu has the same wisdom. I'll use Benu.
It doesn't.
Yeah. He's gonna roll it normal.
Damn. Couldn't have rolled a.
All right. So what's
Wait,
the
wait. Is silver barbs only for crits or for success?
what?
Is silvery barbs only for crits or success?
Silvery barbs is for any D20 roll. I
But
think it's
silver barbs.
he's just sitting there, and then suddenly there's flashes of bright light in his face. Go ahead and cast the spell. Oh,
Oh, yeah, I gotta cast this thing. You have nothing. Hold on. Ooh, then I choose a different creature. Who should I give?
Advantage for the next minute.
Ooh,
You can give it to yourself too, remember that.
who's going to be mainly talking with him? Oh, it's for the next minute. Okay, so I'll give it to myself for now.
Okay. He's gonna roll again.
Come on. God dang it. Wait, hold on. If you match, is it roller or attacker?
It goes to defender. It goes to the person making the roll.
Damn.
If it,
Yeah, no, there's nothing I can do.
you got some cutting words there, here, Bard. Does Delbad have cutting words, or is that a different Bard I'm thinking of? Steven?
He's deafened.
He has it. He's a war bard, so he should have cutting words if he wants to use them.
Yeah, but he can't hear us right now.
Ah,
Yeah. He's deafened and muted.
always leaves when the world needed him most. He vanished.
Oh, wait, could you not hear me?
No,
I've been talking this whole time. Okay. How much does he need to roll to get it?
He needs to beat a 14, which he has 15 right now.
I mean, I think that's a level that Steven would risk it. He doesn't like when he has to roll like a 3 or a 4.
mm-hmm. Do you guys think that Steven would do the go for it in this
Pardon?
situation? Oh,
Oop, he's
uh,
back.
would you use those cutting words? He's just barely not uh, passing. He has like one above what's needed.
Wait, so what the situation that occurred?
He's
We're
trying to.
casting. We're trying to read his mind. I didn't go deeper. He's winning by like 1 or 2. So cutting words is the only way to get it down enough to succeed.
Um,
He hasn't noticed this yet.
He did notice the
cutting
bright
words would
lights in
not
his
help.
face.
Cutting
Yeah,
words would not help.
what's up?
Silvery barbs, you're making a saving throw, right? So cutting words won't help.
No, cutting words doesn't work on saving throws.
Affects attack roll, ability check, or damage roll.
Oh, oh yeah, then
I can
no. Nah, so
Well,
you're
you can actually still be Barb's again if someone else has it.
I do.
Oh my god.
Are you guys gonna use all
But
your resources on this guy? Hey, just trying to
We're not
see
supposed to
what.
be fighting today.
did we get along? Did we get a rest or
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys got a long rest.
Oh yeah, I need to put that in so that I have the spell slot. Okay, there we go. I do have the spell slot for it.
But yeah, what you were thinking of, Keontae, is Bardic Inspiration can be used to boost a saving throw, but I can't use Cutting Words to cut down one.
Okay.
That's incredibly weird. I don't know why they did that.
Because I have access to silvery barbs, but I didn't grab it.
Do I use silvery barb spell to help here?
I say let's go for it.
What is he thinking about? What otherworldly punishment could be concocted by people?
Actually, if we take a long rest, then I need to do that.
It would be funny, but
What I'm imagining is we burn all these resources, and it's just meow, meow, and he's just thinking of cats.
Well, we're also about to talk to him about our future plans, so being able to read his thoughts is incredibly useful for
And
quickly gauging.
knowing what he's afraid will happen if you guys just skip town and don't
Yeah.
help with the situation. Because again, they don't know that you guys have already gotten the stuff. They think that you're supposed to be meeting them this morning after having spent the afternoon yesterday talking about it to decide
Okay,
whether you're going to help them or not.
I don't think the
So
help
we
actually.
didn't wait. So we didn't agree to do this or not?
No.
Are you telling me that? So they
Yes.
Yes.
don't know that we have it?
No.
So
Yes.
then why are we doing this? So all of this time, I thought that we had already agreed, or told them that we had already agreed. But you're saying that we haven't even agreed,
No,
and
you
this
guys.
moment right now is just telling him if we agree or not.
Yes.
Oh
Essentially,
my
you
gosh.
guys had, after talking to them, you said you would come back in the morning and with the decision that you guys had made with the party, and along the way, you guys decided to split up and scout out what was going on, and then you saw like while you were scouting, you saw an opportunity to act, and you guys acted.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we
that makes
kind of went a
sense.
little off the rails because we started planning and planning, and then things kind of happened,
Yeah,
and
we
we
did a whole
kind of won.
infiltration thing.
Yeah, we kind of won anyways.
So they
But
don't
we've
know that
already
we
made.
have it. They think that that it's still missing.
Mhm.
Correct.
Do they know that it was at the temple?
They
Correct.
know
Yes.
that
He
it was
told us.
there, where they were going to send someone
Well,
with
it's still at the temple.
you.
Just say no. We don't agree with doing this. We're running behind on our other plans. We wish you guys well. We hope you have a good day. Blah blah blah
Except
blah blah.
Except now we're putting our trust in the Ravens to not out us as the people who helped deal with the temple crisis, because
Well,
people
so
saw
us
us there.
helping deal with the temple crisis, I'm helping them deal with the temple crisis doesn't mean that we got it. It just means that we heard that there was something that happened at the temple, and just because we were there trying to decide on what it is that we wanted to do, scouting out and stuff, we left and realized, well,
They're the
that's a dead end.
they're the ones that gave us the intel. It wouldn't be hard for them to put together. Oh,
We
oh,
would be gone by then.
And
and we
then we'll
wouldn't have the
create
other
our
half of the
internet.
map. There'd be no
Oh
point
my
to having us.
gosh.
There would have been
Look,
no point to us doing that because we'd have half a map that leads nowhere.
So that's the best thing. They need that. At the end of the day, like them not having it,
that is an option, and depending on
they
if
don't
you
even know that we have it. They
now
think it's still there. And besides, the room burned down, so they can only assume that the map was burned in the room. I buried most of the room and then set the rest of it on fire.
Speaking of which, were there any consequences to burning down part of a church?
um
I don't care.
they didn't know that part happened when they gave you the rewards. So, well,
That little bit of non-reward. They specifically said that they can't even decide on a reward for us because they aren't even high enough to give out a reward.
they gave you a box with some money and and stuff in it.
I don't know what's in there because I haven't increased my number on money yet.
Because I haven't doled it out because I've kept it as party funds because I'm
There
holding
you
it. In fact, let me go grab that note. Basic notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Oh,
Darby
that had the whole.
buried the sarcophagus that had the Prophet of Sutek in it and everything. And so, yeah,
I mean,
you guys got
they
two
did give us
Raven
a holy
costumes.
dagger.
A Darby has a cultist kit. If that, I don't know. I don't know what you are going to do with that, but yeah, it
I
has some
have a
dark.
cultist kit. That's as far as I can go with
It
it.
has a sacrificial dagger, 8 candles, those robes, and that's it. It's and a chalice. Sorry. So you could,
Ooh. Hey, mind if I borrow that? I'm just kidding.
but you know, it's not really a lot. I mean, you got 3 maid uniforms and 2 Raven costumes out of it.
Yay.
I mean, those maid uniforms might be very useful.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think the I think the assassin uniforms are more useful.
And more likely to get you in trouble.
I don't think she really cares about that.
So, anyways, are we actually going to pursue this, or are we going to turn tail and run?
I don't know why we wouldn't pursue it at this point.
Okay.
Because
I then John, are you going to silvery barbs or not?
I
He
already
casted it.
did.
Okay.
All right, let's
I
roll.
know I'm paying attention in the turn tracker.
No, I've been having to help with arguments.
Yeah, it has to be lower than a 15.
That's an 11.
Hey!
There we go. Oh, Um, you
GB.
see the 3 scenes that, okay, like in his surface thoughts, they only flash by for an instant, but in his deep thoughts, you see 3 scenes. He's one of a goblin in 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 pleading for their life and being touched by a azar on the forehead and then aging into dust. Another of this group of adventurers that tried to steal an artifact that they were, were meant to give to Azar and, and Lady Reed Red, and with Draconis and the other two having hunted them down and beheaded them, while Laquea is just vomiting off to the side. And the third image is of it's just of Azar talking to some, you know, giant and owl-like creature from that Laqueus was desperately hoping that he was hiding out nearby, desperately hoping that he's not noticed. This and seeing the purple and teal feathers of this owl just this and like the otherworldliness of it, like it was unaffected by the physics of this world kind of creature.
Do, do I recognize this kind of creature?
It's like a really big and really otherworldly version of that owl that you saw that Azar has with him. But this seeing this, give me a an Arcana roll.
20.
Um, this is a temporal strix or a time owl. You've seen, like, you've heard stories of them in the books and tomes of the Blood Jungle that you guys had. And, like, even the scroll that you carry with you that has just some of the information that you took from the lab in the Blood Jungle mentions time owls as being incredibly powerful creatures that can grant wishes and that are related to time.
So like
Uh,
time genies, but owl shaped.
well, there, you know, you would know that time, Jin of the genies of the plane of time exist and are separate. It time owls typically don't aren't like granting wishes in the form of like a casting wish and something happened. They basically will make a deal with you. Like if you want something done related to time, and they can get it done, and but you have to do something for them in exchange. Usually, people that make contracts with them are hoping to have eternal youth or something without the drawbacks of the um without the drawbacks of vampirism or any other um, thing.
Okay, so
So, do you mean like they can put this thing inside of, let's say, a storage or whatever, and then use time to go before it was put into this storage thing? So they kept their promise, but technically they broke it?
Um, Beings from the plane of time are have limitations to what they can do with the time stream, but they have access to this thing called the Ever Wind. It's basically everything that ever has or could happen in stretched out in a line that weaves around everything that exists.
So,
Everything that
oh, the
is could be and ever was. This is the
so
Everwind.
our
And
decision to make to help them or not help them doesn't matter.
it
if
does.
they had help from a time owl.
If they're
But
like if it were a time owl itself that you guys were dealing with, if you it could pick and choose its best time, the best timeline, and, but because it's not, that you can mortals are limited by the timeline that they exist in, and they can't just go out and um, jump timelines. That's highly illegal to the people who run the plane of time.
There's
So,
also the very act of you making a choice that runs counter to them forces them to give up more or to get the result they wanted. For example, us choosing something that they don't like, it would force them to have to make another deal just for them to get a chance to counter what we did. It's like, do you lose an arm so that you can get another chance at a swing? See?
so while I am like looking at these things and gathering all this information, while this is happening, I'm going to relay what I see through my telepathic channel with Mana.
Let's
Seems
see.
we may have an a bit. This is might be a bit more interesting than we believe.
Indeed, he might be quite useful to us. Good morning. You seem
Uh,
rather distressed.
thank goodness. Whew. I thought you guys had skipped town on me. You
Whatever will
don't.
give you that idea.
Well, you're not the first group of adventurers that I had recruited. Um, well, let's go. Well, Lord Azar is a very punctual individual, and
I'd imagine so. He seemed rather official.
he is his time is very valuable to him, and I think that it's prudent that you guys give him your answer sooner rather than later, so that we can plan out what we're going to do next.
Is there
Um,
anything we should watch out for when it comes to Azar?
he's fairly he's fairly laid back, but he um, he's fairly laid back, but that he doesn't suffer insults very well, especially insults to his intelligence and ability to um, make heed on the promises that he's doled out.
Mm.
If he
And
promises
Good.
something, then he will get it to you. And if you try and insult him by um, going around him to get it, then he doesn't like that very much. Um, but most of the time, it's never an issue.
I
Like
see.
50% of the time, it's only an issue 90% of the time.
Uh-huh.
I believe in your stress you forgot how numbers work,
No, I understood it.
but but his pet is rather peculiar. I've never seen a genus like that.
Oh, his Strix. It's his familiar. They're a very unique familiar, and it, it's um he gets a good amount of advice from it.
Oh, so it's like his advisor.
Not really. It's like um have you ever had like a closet for a familiar?
Can't say that I have.
That same armored individual standing outside the door, or who lets you by. And you see the other two still in the room. The mage wearing the leather armor, and the uh, um, man with the long silver hair and the big axe. And then sitting in the chair, looking like they haven't moved since the last time you saw them, is this Azar. So you came. If
I'm gonna stay outside.
you're staying outside with the other guard.
Yeah. Me and what's her name? Whatever her name is.
The friend you made.
Yeah,
Oh, Calliope.
yeah, Calliope. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Calliope operates into existence next to you.
Oh, where was she?
I
Stealth.
did. I didn't assume that you had brought her with you, but that now she is a she is rather stealthy, so she just sort of is there now. Yeah.
Yeah, like bodyguards, I guess. I'll be little bodyguard, big bodyguard. There's no reason for me to be inside anymore.
So, oh, did, have you guys decided on your next course of action?
We have the items that you have in your possession, and as well as the other things we discussed. If we assist you in obtaining this, in raiding this tomb, and obtaining what you seek from it, these things will be provided to us, correct?
As quickly as we can.
And will anything be provided to us upon retrieving the other half of the map? I can't remember if we agreed on anything.
Nothing. We didn't agree on anything at the time. Is there something more you want than than access to one of the items in the vault?
Okay, so we're getting a item from the vault for retrieving the map, and then we get the
Well, for
sword from,
retrieving, um, yeah, the sword for the primal.
and what for the map.
You guys didn't really decide on it. That was going to be part of what you guys discussed this morning.
So the sword for the primal, and then we're in open dialogue of what we get to for handing over the map.
Yes. Yes. After doing further research, we will require their compensation for for the part of the map that you were seeking.
Uh, I expected as much. What did you have in mind?
Quick out of game. I was going to, I was going to ask for uh, additional funding, supplies, as well as access to their resources, such as their safe houses, their routes to locations and such. But was there anything in particular that someone else wanted to request in this scenario?
I mean, I don't know what all they had access to because I don't think I was here for part of that, or I was
They
not
have a
in the
vault.
picture.
They have a vault full of items, as well as their resources as a nation-spanning organization.
That's,
Okay.
it's the banker's vault. You're a bad guy, sister. No,
Lady Red
no, no,
Scales.
no, 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 not the sister dragon. The rose gold elder dragon. Where we found the sword and all that.
So
I don't.
before I commit our pieces to the board, is there just anything that any of you want or are looking for?
I would
And
expect them to have a um create a contract that makes sure that they do exactly what they are supposed to do with that item and they're not using it for any malicious purposes. And that if they did, then I don't
well,
know,
that
they
could be
lose the
Well,
drawn.
mills or something.
well,
Hmm.
part of that does tie into what we got from reading the guy's mind. Either is somebody who very much values and keeps his word.
I
So
can't
as
think of. I can think of anything because anything Gobat would request would just be access to like ancient knowledge, but this isn't his deal. So, like, if Gobat were to make a request, it'd be like access to just like some tomes of ancient knowledge, if there is anything from like first era, well, like Age of Gods. I mean, bleh. But if there are things that you're thinking of, then go for that.
Anything for Picard? And anything for Nissa? Okay.
What all do
You're
they
muted
have?
already.
That's the big
They
There's basically a vault full of various magic items, and then there are nation-spanning civilization, nation-spanning organizations, so they should have access to stuff. It's more of a matter of what are you thinking.
Cause like I think kind of on the same is so bad.
Access to
okay.
some really old information.
Yeah. Just information, just like poems and stuff, like old blueprints and of
Excuse
stuff.
me. Okay. And any last thing from nobody?
Hmm.
This
Thing
goes
is,
for Darby as well.
I don't know
I
what
can tell you
else
what
they
I
would
want.
have. But, hmm. I'm not sure what they would have that nobody would want,
Okay.
other than the sword, of course.
Okay.
Wonder how many people they killed just to do this.
So, first off, before I lay down my request, I have some questions about your organization. You collect treasures and relics across the nations. Is that accurate?
Yes, it's accurate.
Do you have any line on what you will and won't take?
I don't take things that are of cultural significance to a people. I only take things that are too dangerous to leave out in the open for just anybody to use.
It wasn't out in the open.
Well, I think the war is being fought over, or like that is one of the things that people are searching for out there, but nobody knows where it actually is.
Now they know.
I have a question. Do you have a personal stake in this war?
In the war? No. Wars are petty things that people with limited lifespans like to wage to get things that they don't deserve.
It sounds like you have quite the extended lifespan.
Quite.
Hmm.
Then I would ask. Oh, was someone else going to say something?
No, nobody's for once deciding to hold his tongue for a second.
Then what I would request would be access to your resources and information, and and specifically things related to ancient knowledge, it, and ruins, as well as translations for any that may be harder to interpret.
Mm.
I would also like access to routes and recommendations from your organization to expedite our entry to places where it may be relevant.
Interesting. You don't seek
Many in our group. Oh, go ahead.
treasures. You don't want to learn the dark histories from the past. You just seek information.
And many in our group are researchers at heart. Right?
Hmm.
Access to more information to advance their fields that feels, feels is very appealing to them. And access to the routes that you can provide us can help us avoid like the dangers the way that you do, considering you transport such valuable relics.
Well, it's dangerous for me to give out such secrets, but for some reason, I feel like with you, it'll be in good hands.
Also, your organization has a tendency to retrieve valuable artifacts. I don't suppose they're also good at burying the leads, as it were.
If we have it, most people don't know that it exists, or at least don't know what happened to it.
Then assuming that our partnership continues to extend, and and would I be able to call upon such a service in the future?
Hmm. I guess if you have the right amount of coin,
Name your price, and we'll see when the time comes.
you certainly are a fascinating group. You seek not riches, but information. I like you. History smiles on ones like yourselves.
Well, with people, crap, I had it in the wrong. With people who have nothing but time, information is long valuable. As he kind of, uh, not directly looking at the, no, no, never mind. That's it. That's all I say.
All right. If you can, and then which of my associates do you wish to take with you to retrieve the object? Since it seems like we're going in the direction of you helping us.
Well, first things first, I would like to get all this down in writing.
Hmm.
What
While I
about
trust your word,
information?
I want something that I can present in case we run into any of your compatriots who may not have been informed.
Interesting. How serious of a contract are you wanting to write?
If you're worried about something that would take our lives if one of us were to break it, and that won't be necessary. But but something that will codify our agreement.
What was the final agreement?
They'll provide us with information as well as transportation routes,
Okay.
and access to basically we'll get access to their information network,
Okay.
as well as the ability to call upon them in the future to bury something that we don't want.
Yeah,
Okay.
with payment.
Yeah, with payment. But if these guys can make priceless, valuable artifacts disappear, I imagine there's a lot of things they can make disappear. So, do we have your word?
My word I can give. And they will write down basically the terms that you guys have agreed to, and they will pull out their signet ring. Do you have a signet?
Did the guy who I'm currently wearing have one?
Yes, he did for his business.
Okay, I'll use his.
Let's not use the ring we just took.
Yeah,
So
no, hell no.
that could be hilarious.
Hell no.
I mean, the contract wouldn't be between Mana and just. But yeah.
But now you can't ever get rid of that identity.
This is your new identity now.
Well, why wouldn't I be able to get rid of it?
Because it's technically a contract between that identity and him
Yeah.
with that signet ring.
I was saying that.
I guess fair, but I was gonna need this for as long as I had the kid anyway.
Oh, but you plan
And
on
the
getting rid of
consequence.
the kid?
Plus, we specifically stated that the consequences of this contract would not be death.
It's not
I was
even
told.
I don't think it's like a contract either. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not using the colored contract paper.
It'd be great if you did, but he doesn't want to do that. So
Gets out
I don't want to
contract
do that.
the blue bowl stamp.
nobody would not have allowed it anyway.
Yeah.
the
So
blue
yeah,
bowl
I'll
ain't
stamp with the
stamping
ring.
nothing. I'm not a part of this agreement.
All right. He's going to take it, and he's going to whisper a spell, and he's going to split it into two identical copies, and hand one to you. So after rolling it up and putting it in like a scroll case. So, which one of my compatriots do you wish to take with you?
Hmm. Oh, there will be no need. I'll lay out the charcoal drawing.
His eyebrow will raise at that. Hmm. It seems that I have been bamboozled and
By no
befuddled.
means. There was just an altercation at the church yesterday, and we took the opportunity to retrieve it while people were distracted.
Interesting. See,
But
Laqueus,
you must have.
this didn't I tell you that this group would be able to handle it? There was no need to worry your nervous little head over it. Yes, sir. You're right as always. Hmm.
Ooh,
Mm.
I feel like I can corrupt that concentration. Sometimes. Listen,
Hmm. Draconis, can you go retrieve my collection? Sure thing, boss. Um, Draconis is gonna go to the corner and pull out a trunk. He's gonna pull out a book and he's gonna lay it in front of you guys. Pick what you like. There's going to be three sets of three eras of book and divided amongst three continents per era. So you have Age of Gods. That's that's for the Dark Continent, the Combat Continent, and the Arcane Continent. You have uh, First Era for the you well you have early First Era for all three continents, and the late First Era for all three continents. And then there's a small sliver of section for second era stuff because that era just started. So there no one even knew there was going to be a second era until well, the heroes defeated the Ghost Leviathan and opened up trade between these two continents. So it was only about
Quick
100
clarification.
years of history.
How many do we have access to?
Um, you guys can you guys can pick like 3 books. You just tell me continent, era, and a subject matter, and he'll provide a a book that is that or related to that.
I'll give everyone else first pickings.
So we have Dark Continent, Arcana Continent, and Combat Continent. First, second, and third. Age of Gods, first era, second era.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is. Mm,
It's like going to the library or to the bookstore and getting told you can only get 3 books.
no, it's worse for Dovak because he's now a kid in a candy store and he's only allowed to buy 3 pieces of candy. Especially with some of these candies. Because you just put Dark Continent, something that we know nothing about in or out of game. Ooh. Dovak's gonna do Age of Gods Dark.
All right, you're going to get a book on the Age of Gods. Is there a subject matter that who who were
Uh,
looking into?
mm, not really. Let's do yeah, let's just do magic.
All right, you grab a treatise on the history mm, of magics from the Dark Continent.
Hmm. Oh, look at nobody.
So inventory. I also need to apparently write down because I've never written down that it was that I did Age of Gods for my thing. So let me do specialty Age of Gods.
Now I would be handy for y'all.
Okay, what continents were again? Sorry.
You have the Dark Continent, Cthulhu, which is the combat continent, and then you have the Arcanus, which is this continent that you guys are on.
So, would the combat continent be where we're from?
Yes, you guys are from
Gotcha.
Cthulhu, which and specifically from the Blood Jungle in the southern part of Cthulhu.
So I probably shouldn't get like Age of Gods Katala stuff because that's just reiterating stuff we already know. Um, or at least I already know.
Well, at least from the perspective of what we know about that time period, obviously there are things that we may have missed.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so let's go. Uh,
You said it's the Age of Gods, then First Era
correct.
and Second Era. Gotcha.
First era, early first era, which is the reign of the Ten Kings, and then late second era, which is the period that you got that just ended, which is basically in all the countries in and the living gods that have sort of formed these countries on these continents to sort of help them get to power and eventually ascend into divine beings in their own right. and that era came to an end when heroes rose up who defeated its ghost leviathan, which was one of these living godlike beings, and the child of the Ocean Titan, and opened up trade between continents, which has resulted in conflicts between these deities that didn't prior happen in very often. So now you have people like the two gods from Nox getting into conflict with the gods here in the Arcane continent, and that's the up until this point there was sort of an equilibrium on each of these continents. People had their territory; they didn't really mess with each other much, but now has been reintroduced into the mix with new trade routes and new and people getting to intermix more.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of. I don't want to do. I wouldn't know. I mean, the first era might benefit nobody because it's an era that he has no knowledge about since he was most likely asleep at that time. So, but the age of God's knowledge. I think I'll do Age of Gods for Arcanist.
All right,
That's
what
what
subject are you looking for?
magic interesting.
You can do culture, you can do history, you can do boom, um, politics, music.
Hmm.
Basically, anything that you have a skill for, you can learn, get.
Religion.
I'll I know you said you'll pick last, but um Mana, what would you think would be a good subject?
So I'm actually am interested in the Age of Gods because I'm curious what the outcome of some things were.
Hmm.
You'd be Age of Gods, Cthulhu history probably.
I'll probably do um Age of Gods Arcanist. And you know what? Let's throw this in here. The Dark Gods.
Ooh,
Ooh, cool.
the dark gods of religion. Ooh.
All right, you're looking at the Age of Gods, Fall of the Dark Gods.
An Arcanist, correctly. Or if it's just in general, then that's fine too.
Well, there are. Well, remember the Dark Gods were spread across the continents, and
Hmm.
There were some that were from here, or like the Lord of Insects himself was from this continent, and he ruled on this continent. And so there's more that you can find here than you who might find there. Just like with just like him, the person that he took as his wife, who was the goddess of love, is also ruled on this continent with her husband Scoff. But now, well, that sort of didn't work out. Well,
Okay, what was the name of my book again?
um, treatise on the history of magic of the Dark Continent, and Yours is Fall of the Dark Gods. That's of Arcanus. But like you would know, historically speaking, the continent wasn't called Arcanus at the time, but you know that this is a this book was probably written from from what you can tell, this book was written from first and second hand accounts of people who lived through who the age, who lived through the end of the Age of Gods into the through the Dark Kings period, and people like Layla who saw basically all the turmoil and war between the gods and the Titans, and, and came out on the other side of that. And so first and second hand and experiences of those people, and this was written basically about this continent and what happened during the like when the dark gods that ruled this continent that were ruling on this continent did what they did here. So the essentially Gurrendaris was from this continent, but he was entombed in Katalu, from what you guys would know from the other campaign. So um, his heart was sealed in in the necropolis. So that's the kind of information that you would find in this kind of book. Another one from this continent would be Hidagrami. No, Hidagrami is from the Dark Continent, so he wouldn't be from here, because that's why um the guy what the Scootermander had that one in the other campaign, so it's from the Dark Continent.
And then Mana does Cthulhu history, Age of Gods, if
Okay.
I'm right. Is
Was
that
that
still the case?
I was going to make a suggestion.
Gary?
Oh,
The,
sorry.
he exploded?
I'm here. Sorry.
the James said he
Do
had
you,
a suggestion.
do you mind if I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
You could see if there's one that has any information on what you are planning on doing.
You mean the corrupting the staff?
No, not that, but I was talking more about your mark
Oh,
idea.
well, that would be under Magic, and I've got Dark Continent Magic. We've got Arcana Continent Dark Gods.
hmm I
If
think
he
it'd
does
be
hit,
under the Arcana Continent Magic.
well, it's gonna be under any Magic because it is a major Magic. It's just
Mm.
more of doing like early First Era or Age of Gods.
Well, we know that they've done it in the Arcana Continent. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
You would know that's something. Being, hold on, let me find his name again. And that one guy that became a machine. What's his name?
Mm-hmm. Something like mechanist or something like that.
Mechanist?
No.
The guy that was antagonizing Layla?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't antagonizing. He was in
Oh,
love with Lucian Ettifernus.
yeah, him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the one that discovered the who created the technique, and it was sort of lost when his students died out. So there's not a lot of people who know about what he did or made.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look into curse marks, he would probably be the one to who speak to get his history on for figuring that stuff out.
That'd be
Mhm.
true.
Yep.
Was there anything that Picard and Nessa were interested in? So no from Picard. Nessa?
Uh, I'm trying to think of what continent to go with because it would be more like the gunsmithing stuff.
I
Well,
mean,
gunsmithing would probably be Age of Gods.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's
Age of Gods, Cthulhu, or Dark would be your best bet on that one, I would say. Age of
mm,
Gods, Cthulhu, or Dark Continent weaponry.
yep. Because I also would probably go into kind of the staff as well.
But I would say since we only have three choices, we've already burned two.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me which the two we have so far?
So I have Age of Gods, Dark Continent, Magic. Nobody has Age of Gods, Arcana Continent, Religion, effectively, but Dark Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we could hard focus into the, the Age of Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Age of Gods, Cthulhu weaponry.
Alternatively, if you want, you could go for the first era because that would have been people's rebuilding after the Age of God. So that might have information on how they may have converted things from the Age of Gods to the First Age.
True. I'm looking more for like I guess to repair, so to say.
I mean, basic firearm repair can be learned just about anywhere right now.
Well, from like
Now, something else to consider is that uh, especially me and nobody would be able to translate things from the Age of Gods
mm-hmm.
because we
And
would
I
understand those concepts from a first person perspective rather than a
yeah,
historical perspective.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think it would be should I go Age of God or First Tier weaponry?
First era weaponry would give you would probably give you something you have better access to recreating. If I'm perfectly honest.
I know, but if you are able to recreate that Age of God tech,
Well, yeah, but the first era would have been people already trying,
mm-hmm.
so you would already know, you would already see from there, hey, we tried this based on this, and and it failed this way, this way, this way, this way. So you would already, especially if it goes into detail of how each thing was attempted.
Mm-hmm.
But again, first era would is more realistic to what we could make with our current level. Going to Age of Gods would give you the original basis, but how well it converts.
You know, Age of God actually might be more what I'm looking for. Now that I think about it, because it might also tell me, or at least give a hint on where to find uh Adamantine Forge.
Oh, yeah, Amazing Forge.
Yeah,
You want to
it might be.
you want to find the that forge. Hmm.
Might have information in that along with how to use it.
All right, let me go way back in my notes.
I totally forgot about that forge.
Yep.
I mean, I remember the forges being talked about back in Titans, but I don't remember too much of it being talked about here.
Yeah,
I only know about it because
it was mentioned, and when you guys went to buy them, when you got the quest from the gunsmith.
yeah.
He's from Katalu, but he was telling you guys that there was a gunslinger that had died in the area around where this war is happening that had a weapon that could lead, like, give them clues to where the forge is.
The first era dungeon.
Yes.
Vash, VASAG.
Yeah,
Using a
if they
strange
could,
technique from.
yeah, essentially, if they can get a hold of that weapon and reverse engineer it, and as well as study its how it was made, they might find more clues on.
I think we're headed to it right now, actually.
You're heading to the area where it's in. It's supposed to open up in the next week or so. No, so
Yeah,
it,
so
depending
it's
on when you guys make it to the battlefield, it may have opened up and have already been looted by the time you guys get there. So that's the determining factor. You have a limited time frame on that one.
so we should, if that's what the knowledge we want, we should just get going because we can get that from there.
Well, you don't know. This is just to get clues to it. If
Uh,
this guy has a book that may have more information on it, then it
okay.
it might be
Mm-hmm.
useful to them, and he might be able to sell it to. You guys might be able to sell it to David and get paid big bucks to for uncovering this information, so to speak.
Oh shoot, I should have done first era magic. Oh well. I forgot my plot hook of the flute. Well, I may find out with this. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's same book. Who knows?
Oh no, no. This is first and early second era runes. Black.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I'll get probably a close enough approximation, but I think I'm still waiting on yeah the either to go to the Octavian Temple or somehow get dragged into the Tower of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your third book?
So Age of Gods Cthulhu history or Age of Gods Cthulhu weaponry
Mm-hmm.
between Kiari and John.
I did all the negotiating, so I figured I'd let you guys pick. And then just if no one else was going to pick, then I would.
Right. Then do you want your weaponry, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what we can
That's
learn about this.
all right.
Or is it would it have been in the first error one or in the what I'm looking for particularly? Would it be the first
Um,
error
the
one or
the adamantine forge was something
okay?
that was early first era during the reign of the Ten Kings. That was a thing that was really important because one of the Ten Kings made Warforged using it. The first Warforged were created with the adamantine forge, and then the other forges were made to pump them out faster.
Well, I guess it'd be the first error book on forging, I guess, or whatever.
Whatever would give him to the adamantine forge,
You know.
which would either be, which would probably be weaponry or
Mm-hmm.
probably weaponry or smithing.
Yep.
All right, you guys are given those three books. Alright. When, how do you wish to trans? Are you going? Do you want us to travel with you, or do you want to travel separately to get to our destination? Or would you will wash your hands of the situation and just give us the book?
I think we're
We
going.
the other objects on the table for us assisting are too important to us to not continue forward. So we will be continuing on this journey. Um, I'm fine with traveling together, out of game.
Pardon?
Anybody have? I'm fine with us traveling together, but we can travel separately if that would be preferred.
I'm fine traveling with them.
I mean, if, as long as we're doing separate carts, then yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we would still have our own place.
Mhm.
I don't trust them that much.
I'm fine with that.
Right. We will shake your hand. This whole time, in, in, Dorothy, you've been hanging out outside with Calliope and this Moran person who has just been silently standing there without moving. You don't think you've heard her breathe either. You've heard her speak in the past, so you know she can talk, but she has not moved and has just been standing as still as a statue this entire time. Like Calliope's gonna lay down. Oh, you, you think she's dead? Or undead, as the case may be? I don't know where Lex went.
I'm here.
You're standing next to the other, to the her bodyguard, or the Moran person, and she sort of just has been standing there as still as a statue this entire time, not saying anything, and you're not sure if you've heard her breathe or either. She's just been standing there, and Calliope leaned down and asked you if you thought she might be dead or something, or undead.
Who I think that she might be an undead. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're just here to keep our eyes out. It's nothing special.
You make things sound boring. Hey, there's something to the keeping watch. It's 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 an art form. You got to stand there all day. You got to keep your back like sort of scrunched up because they never they'll have you keep watch out in the place where it's nice and open and you can stand up nice and tall, right? So you're standing there just trying to keep your horn from scraping the ceiling, and your back gets very sore, but you can't sit down. You gotta be on alert, and if you do things wrong, then you get in a lot of trouble.
Do you do you want to sit down? Sit down. I'll look around for a chair. Please tell me there's a chair by.
There's a chair on
I
the.
go get the chair and bring it over to her. Sit down if you
Oh,
want to sit down.
she'll sit down, and you hear the chair creak under her weight. He, no, I
I'll look at the other one. Do you want to sit down?
like she'll turn her head, like sort of shake it side to side. Hey, kinda.
I can grab another chair. How about this? Let's all stretch for a bit, okay? Stretch up. Come on. Come on.
Calliope will enthusiastically follow along, and Moran and trying not to be rude or left out, sort of unenthusiastically follows along.
To the left, just lean, get that back, just stretch it all the way out, and then to the right, go slow and go down to your toes. And then I want you to slowly roll on up until you are
When
standing
they
tall.
when they do this, their back moves in a very unnatural way as they
Oh,
roll up back into a standing position.
mm, uh, mm, uh, okay, okay. Does that feel good? Are you good?
I think so. I don't feel bad. Do you feel good?
Uh, uh, huh? I, I, hmm, hmm. I'm gonna just leave that there, and then I'll come back to it.
And
I'll
RP
I'll still
just
drag over. I'll still drag over another chair and be like, if you need it, no forcing, no rush.
she'll sit down. Um, and then she'll just suddenly he started like expositing in just random things like you open the floodgate. He was like, I feel like killing people is wrong.
Mm,
Have you ever thought about that? Just we go out there, or, and people attack us, and then we just kill them. Um, And
right.
have you ever thought maybe sometimes we don't have to kill them? Maybe we can just take them somewhere and they can be, held there, or so that they don't hurt other people, but you know, they're not out there, but they're not dead.
Like a prison.
Yes, that.
Hmm.
Those are a thing.
Those are a thing. Those are a thing. Though the last prison that I was ever in wasn't very good at keeping said prisoner alive, but not all prisons have to be like that. You just got to get a good one, a good prison and a good guard.
Hmm. Maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I'll be a prison guard.
Are you going to be a good prison guard?
I'm really good at guarding things.
You are. You are terrific at guarding things. You are doing such a fantastic job. Uh, d- uh, since you're guarding, you got to know who you're guarding, right? So I mean,
Hmm.
let's say these prisoners, what type of prisoners would you be um guarding against?
Well, well, mostly people that go against and Lord Azar's wishes. I've been
Mm,
here. I've been working for Lord Azar for quite a few months now, and it's been pretty nice.
oh,
I have a nice dry place to sleep. Eat. Um,
like bed.
um, I mean, beds are nice too. Um, my armor doesn't get all rusty from the rain.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Uh, no, sometimes Draconis talks to me, but he's kind of rude about it, and I don't know how to exactly feel about it. It he seems like a nice person, but sometimes the way that he says things in a nice way, but it feels like he's not being nice about it, it makes me he not want to talk to him. And is it wrong not to want to talk to someone that you have to
It is
work with every
not.
day?
It is not wrong at all. Is he your higher up?
I he's been here. He's been part of the group longer than I have. If,
Mm. Have you tried talking to him about his tone?
um, like go quiet for a second. No,
Hmm.
but maybe I shall.
Maybe. I mean, what you feel and what you like is also important too.
It is.
Yeah, because let's say that you're having a bad day, right? And then you're not really paying attention a lot. And then you end up not seeing someone sneaking in behind you because you're so upset with how he made you feel.
That would be bad,
That would
right?
definitely be bad.
Mhm. Well, I don't want to do bad things or do a bad job. So,
I mean, definitely not. I mean, is your boss a good person?
um, he doesn't lie.
I don't know how to take that.
I
I
mean,
mean, what's
he
your definition of bad?
someone who lies and cheats and tries to
Mhm.
kill me.
Oh, kill you. Right, right. So you would only imprison those who were bad to you.
I guess.
You never thought about everyone else? Like people who were bad to other people?
Well, that's why guards are there. They deal with people who are bad to other people.
Well, yeah, that's if there's a good prison, and that's if you're not having a bad day. Uh, but what if there's, let's say, a person in the middle of the street that you don't know, that's not your boss or anyone you just know, and another person comes up and they were bad. They lied to that person, and you saw that they lied. What would you do? Nothing?
Boss told me not to bother with frivolous things like that.
Frivolous. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Uh, you keep your priorities. Yep, that's understandable. That's so understandable. I'm just saying I would help the person. I would, but you're not me and I'm not you. So if you choose to not be a helpful person, you could still be considered good, I guess. I mean, good to your standards and to your boss's standards. Might not be good to the other person who you could have helped, but good
Well,
nonetheless.
when boss found me, I was in a very bad state. My armor was rusted, and I
Hmm.
didn't really move at all.
Mm. So what they do, give you new armor or unrust the armor?
He used magic to make my joints move nice and easy. So now, oh, I can move, but I choose not to because that's the best way to guard. When you're not moving, people don't look at you. He says with
Mm.
her scary skull, full helmet, and full full plate armor, just and like full plate and chainmail, just sitting there in this tiny chair.
Would Tinker Tools have anything for armor?
Yes.
So like oils and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your boss keeps you from going rusty. Do you have anything to keep yourself from going rusty?
Um, yes, I have the grease and oil, and and I put like I use this magic scroll to clean myself every day.
Magic what?
This scroll,
This scroll? Can I see it?
and see, holds up this. It's basically a metal scroll. It's made out of like a thin metal that when you unroll it, it rolls itself back up.
Okay. Is anything written on it?
Um, yeah, you would recognize this since you can cast it too. It's a scroll of prestidigitation,
Oh, that's cool.
but it seems to be some kind of reusable scroll. So the scroll itself isn't consumed when it's used.
That's cool. Where'd you get this from?
Boss gave it to me.
That's a nice boss.
Hmm. He he said he wants me in tip-top shape.
Mm. Why? For guarding him, right?
Yep,
Why were you all rusty in the beginning?
because my last boss told me to her, her guard her in this one spot, and I was told to just stay right there, and I stayed there for a long time.
You did a good job.
Hmm. Boss said that I had done enough, and that my previous boss had sent him to come collect me.
Who's your previous boss? If I
Oh,
may ask.
she told me never to tell anyone who she was if they asked, so I
Oh.
can't tell you.
Oh. Okay. What if I tell you to tell me?
No, only boss can tell me what to do right now, and I'd only listen to you if boss told me to listen to you.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You are a good guard.
I'm the best.
What's the witch's name? I'm just curious.
Layla.
I will ask her if that was her previous boss's name.
Um, I don't know. Well, I know a few people named Layla. It's a common name.
Hmm. Oh well, I don't choose to pry any further. That's as much as my my attention is going to go on to that.
Yeah, it's about this time that the others come out of the room. And by the time the doors open, she is back in the position, like the exact position that she was in before she sat down.
Hmm. I'll whisper, "Good job."
She will give a thumbs up and then go back into her guard position. And um, you guys will see Laquayas and the rest of the party come out.
Okay, a deal has been reached.
Mm-hmm.
Has everything been all right out here? Dot dot dot.
Lex muted herself. She's finally talking.
I'll shrug. That's it.
Alright. I assume you guys will go back to your wagon. Laquaya says she'll meet you guys, that they will meet you guys outside of the city, being heading towards there's Nehustan. And with you guys departing from there, or that's where we're going to end the session for today.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You guys say bye to the viewers.
Bye, viewers.
Bye.